Oh, that's a lot of money.
I wanted enough money to possibly not ever have to work again. And he said, we're going to have to do Class A drugs. And I said, yeah, I know.
How can this be legal?
They never asked to see anything, they just let me walk out the door. And I thought, what can go wrong? Quite a lot, actually. You're thrown in some stinking jail in the middle of nowhere. It's not funny anymore. What for sort of normal, routine, run-of-the-mill place, unfortunately, but it is. I didn't want to stay. Did A-levels, and then it was like make your mind up as to what career you're going to do, and you know, it's very much people trying to push me into doing something that I wasn't ready for. I didn't want to settle down, have kids, you know, get a mortgage. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to be stuck in a boring dead-end job in a bank or something. I wanted to go places and see it all. But then I met Mary.
It's very cold, actually. Yeah, back and get ourselves a nice little warm drink.
Yeah.
Mary was very, very confident looking. She was very tall. Men immediately sort of went like that when she came in the room. You know, I mean, everything that you could want about a girl, she had it.
I could go cigarette.
Very quickly, we set up home. Kind of all the things that I decided I didn't want. And yet, Mary was a very interesting person. I loved being with her. We had a great time, but we were in England.
Do you fancy going out for a drink tonight?
Well, why don't we just wait till next week when we've got our paychecks in?
Well, I think it's Friday night and we should go out and have fun.
I do bar work in the evenings and at weekends. Did a cleaning job. We just never got to the point where we could even go for 2 weeks abroad. We were constantly in debt. I couldn't see an end to it. Suddenly, Mary's brother comes back from Taiwan. He's come back to England. The sort of prodigal son returns, I suppose. He had lots of money.
Hi, sis.
Hi, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm good, I'm good.
You all right?
Other than that, I didn't know anything about him. Didn't know what he was doing in Taiwan. Nobody knew what he was doing in Taiwan, in fact.
You're looking well.
Yeah, cheers. Nothing's changed around here, is it?
No, unfortunately. Same old crowd, same old people.
Obviously, you can't help noticing the fact that we are struggling. We haven't got loads of money. The furniture's a bit rough.
God blimey, you've been standing on this couch? Spring's gone.
It's a bit old.
Should buy a new one.
Yeah, I'd like to. There's plenty of other things you'd have to buy first.
Well, you buy a new house for starters. I don't know how you guys can stick it round here.
He had large envelopes full of cash, you know, and he just like, are you guys needing anything? Do you want some money?
1,000. There you go.
Are you taking a piss?
No, mate. It's yours.
Oh, no. Don't be silly.
I'd never met anyone who could quite happily just dish out hundreds of pounds, thousands of pounds, without any worries at all.
But, you know, you're going out with my sister, there's £1,000, use it wisely.
Well, yeah, but if we did, but we'll have to pay you back in some way, you know. We can't just take this off you.
Who cares? It's yours. Take it. Smells nice, doesn't it?
I mean, even the £1,000 that Keith gave us initially was more money than I was making a month.
See you later, pal.
Bye.
Thank you.
Is that head in there?
Brilliant.
I've never had this much cash in my hand before.
Mary called him a couple of months later, and he said, well, I can help you.
All expenses paid to Taiwan. You'll pay for everything. You will then give us an apartment and help us find work. Easy money.
He said, I could pay all those debts off for you. I could get you a couple of flights out here to Taiwan as quickly as you like.
You're not making much sense, Keith.
The opportunity to go travelling, to get out of this boring routine.
Well, I've got to speak to Mark about it.
It was like, it was a golden opportunity. I wanted to go immediately, so yeah, of course I want to go.
Mark's putting his thumb up and saying, yeah.
We weren't worried about what he was doing, how he made all his money. It didn't occur to us that anything could be wrong. You know, he was helping his sister out. Keith asked us to work out how many debts we had and give him a figure. And we told him it was around £3,000, and he paid it. He was quite specific on the travelling arrangements. He wanted us to buy a round-the-world ticket.
Keith wants us to go from London into Newark, then across to Cleveland, then to Los Angeles, then to Hawaii, and then all the way round to Sydney, and then get to Hong Kong to then get another flight to Taiwan.
Sounds good to me.
And I thought that was a bit strange, but he was paying.
2 round-the-world tickets. How much? That's fine.
I was getting into the hang of it now. Put the phone down, call Keith, it's going to be £1,600. And he also asked us to buy some decent luggage to travel with. And if he thought that we should buy expensive suitcases with locks, I wasn't going to argue. Why would I want to do that?
I'm going on holiday.
Really?
After that, he was a bit more specific on the fact that he wanted us to go to Australia and stop there. There could be a million reasons why he's asking us to do this. It's not a huge problem. I don't want to be rude. I don't want to ask him, start giving him a hard time. He's paid out all this money for us.
Hi, Keith. Yeah, it's Mark. How you doing, mate?
He then said that he did want us to collect something for him from Australia.
What sort of thing?
I was a little bit worried. I must admit that was a little bit worrying. It had got to that point.
Okay.
He did say to me, it's not drugs. It's not anything illegal. Don't worry.
Oh, yeah, that's no worries then.
That was fine from my point of view. That was all the assurance I needed. I said, OK, well, if it's not illegal and we're not going to get in trouble for it, then whatever. We were both very happy to be leaving. We just bounced out of that flat, gave the keys back.
Terminal 1.
We had around £2,000 in travelling expenses, but you can't beat that feeling of having more money than you need. We were the happiest people on that flight, I'll tell you. Definitely. Michael, what can go wrong? Quite a lot, actually. Just things change quite quickly.
The best mashed potato, made with rich double cream. The best pork, blossom honey, and whole grain mustard sausages. The best onion gravy, with red wine and thyme. The best bangers and mash. The best range from Morrison's. Exceptional food for every day. More reasons to shop at Morrison's.
My facelift fund. Yeah. I'm working towards that. I nearly had the money for my facelift, didn't I? But the drive needed doing.
If you haven't been, go. As a boy, it was his favourite place. Now,
Any chance of a rope or a ladder?
he's going back to discover the only thing that changed
Burn in hell, rot in hell, you're my hero.
Who said that?
Your lawyer.
was him.
This place doesn't suit my life.
It is your life that doesn't suit this place.
Russell Crowe.
Every one of my memories takes place within 100 steps of this very spot.
Are they good memories?
They're grand.
A good year.
I just don't know what to do with myself. Don't know just what to do with myself.
You'd think it would make sense. The less you eat, the slimmer you become. Actually, research shows that people who regularly eat a low-fat breakfast like Special K are more likely to be slimmer than those who skip breakfast. And don't forget, Special K is less than 2% fat. Eat breakfast, stay slim with Special K.
I'm leaning over my baby's cot, who's only 3 months old and has a fever. So I've given him some Nurofen for children, which works where it's needed. with his little baby thermostat, helping reduce his temperature, so he'll feel okay. Nurofen for children. Nothing reduces fever faster or for longer.
Chips, glorious chips. Crispy chips, glorious chips. Fluffy, thank goodness it's dinner time. Start licking your lips. For chips, magical chips, wonderful chips. Glorious chips.
How does it feel?
The last will and testament of Mr. Moore. I, Frank Moore, being of sound mind and body, do hereby leave all my worldly wealth to Miss Sophie Ann Fox.
Red Bull gives you wings.
In 2005, extraordinary people met Juliana Wetmore, the girl born without a face. 1 year later, we returned to witness a pioneering operation that could offer Juliana hope for a better life. Building a New Face, 9 o'clock next Monday on 5.
We spent the next 10 days having fun in Australia, living it up. We were in love again. We were like a couple of kids, giggling, and we were just so happy. No responsibility, no worries, no money problems. We had more money than we could possibly spend in 2 weeks. We just did whatever we fancied, like that. Taxi, you want to go somewhere. How much? $50? No worries.
Excuse me?
We just went out and ate in restaurants every meal. English breakfast, yeah, I mean, that is, I think, one of life's little luxuries. If you can pay for breakfast, you know. We didn't have to worry about housework, cooking, washing up. That was brilliant. It really was. Playing by the pool, getting drunk in the middle of the day. Let's have another beer, let's get drunk. It's only 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but who cares? We're out, we're doing it, we're enjoying ourselves, we're in the sun, in Australia. Nothing could go wrong. Nothing. We thought. Till we got to the end of the holiday. Keith said to us that the night before we were going to leave and get on the plane, somebody would come to the hotel and they would drop off what it was that he wanted us to bring back. We had no name, he didn't tell us what time he was going to turn up, he just said make sure you're in all that evening.
Nearly 10:15. Yeah, they'll be over soon. But we've got to tell ourselves that it can't be too serious, because there's no way you'll broke. We'll pretty see that.
It was around about 10 o'clock at night, it was quite late. There was a knock on the door and we were both thinking, is this room service? Is this the guy? And I went to the door, opened it, and there was this fairly sort of tattily dressed guy, and he just said,
Mark and Mary.
Yeah.
It's for you.
That was, I was standing there with this bag. So this is what we'd been waiting for. This is the time where we thought, right, what is it that we're dealing with? And there was a book or a magazine or something just on the top of the bag. I went to the bed and just upended the bag.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
We counted it, and there were bundles of 10,000, I think, 250,000 Australian dollars in cash. It's the most money I've ever seen in my life.
Fucking hell, that's a lot of money.
And we were desperately worried about where he got all this money from. It looks very much like it's drug money.
How can this be legal?
Blatantly isn't.
Initially I said, well, if there's anything that's remotely dodgy, I'm going to put it in my suitcase because I don't want you to get into trouble. I know it's your brother, but I'll take it, whatever it is. But it wouldn't all fit. There's no way I could get that much money in my suitcase and not make it obvious. You know, there had to be stuff around it. So we ended up having to use both the suitcases. It's too late to back out now. We're leaving tomorrow. We're going to get on the plane and we're going to go to Hong Kong. We've got to do it.
Good morning. This is your wake-up call.
We had just a few hours sleep. We had the bags were already packed. We did not leave these suitcases unattended for even a second. And I realised why it was that Keith had asked me to buy them. With that amount of money in them, they needed to be sturdy, they needed to have a lock. And to a certain extent, I was glad that we had bought them because I wouldn't have felt safe carrying that sort of money in a rucksack. When we got to the airport, about to leave Australia, all round the airport there were warning signs. We were going to take out roughly $240,000 more than we were supposed to. I then went back to Mary sitting in their coffee shop and said, well look, this is the rule and this is the one that we're breaking. And we're not talking about drugs after all or exotic animals or anything. We're not doing anything really wrong, we're just taking a bit more money out than we should. We talked ourselves into it because we had no choice at that point, we had to do it. Hong Kong's a free port, they don't care what we have in our suitcase. So really, as long as we took off from Australia, we were going to be okay. The most worrying bit was checking your luggage because then it was out of our hands. Every bit of luggage gets x-rayed, we knew was a risk that we were going to have to take. And then we just had to wait until the flight took off, and that was just endless. When we got on that plane, I was still expecting, even when the door shut, I was still expecting police cars to come round from all directions and get off the plane. And as we were taking off, I thought, yeah, OK, we're taking off, but they could just turn the plane round and we could land again. And eventually we got over and out of Australian airspace, and then I suddenly went, we've done it. We got away with it. The luggage is on board, everything's cool. All we've got to do is land in Hong Kong and we're fine. That was probably the best feeling of the holiday. That was like, Christ, we got away with it. When we arrived in Hong Kong, Keith said to us that he would meet us at his hotel. It was around $5,000 a night to stay in this hotel. It was kind of run-of-the-mill for him. He's like, yeah, it's quite nice here.
Hey! Welcome to Hong Kong.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
He was like smiling, we were smiling, we were relieved. It was all kind of hugs and smiles all round.
So you had a good flight?
Yeah.
Alright.
Bad. Possibly one of the most nerve-wracking flights I've had.
Yeah, you could say that.
Scared of flying?
Keith did then say, you're going to have to give me all the money, and we had to get it all out.
There should be more, yeah?
We had to put it into 2 suitcases.
It's in there.
Okay. Just give us an hand.
We put it in the safes, so he just loaded all the money into there. Chink, closed it, locked it, end of conversation about that money. Other than for him to then say, I'm going to pay you another £8,000 for doing that job for me.
£8 grand.
Sorry, how much?
£8 grand. Here you go, that's for you. Take it, spend it, enjoy it. It's for you. You look a bit better now, both of you.
Yeah.
Seem a bit nicer.
Yeah.
I feel much better now.
Thought you might. Listen, there's 2 penthouse suites in this place. Why don't you book the other one?
Yeah. Quite possibly.
I've never earned £8,000. I mean, £8,000 was about what I earn in a year.
See you guys in a couple of hours, yeah? I'll buzz you. We'll meet down in reception, yeah?
We'll give you a call.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Nice one. Cheers for that, mate.
Thanks very much, mate. Cheers. But when we get to Taiwan, that's it. We're making a vow, okay?
Yeah, yeah,
I mean
totally. No more dodgy stuff. Like, he's going that way, we're going that way.
We were not going to do anything else for him, for any of his friends, anybody.
Oh, I just can't believe we did that.
And then we started talking about going to Taiwan. The conversation about the money was over. We were not going to mention it again.
Think you swear?
Landing in Taipei and driving through the city, it was chaotic. As we then started going up into the mountains, it was obviously then suddenly more peaceful, quiet, picturesque, lush green mountains in a tropical country. And I just thought, this is it. This is the life. It doesn't get any better than this. How many people at home are seeing this? They're just going to the local pub and walking on those dreary grey roads with grey houses over a grey sky. I was totally ecstatic. Keith got us an apartment. It was a lovely place to live, very quiet little village, full of Taiwanese peasants. We've got this huge, nest egg of money. We had a great time. I was very happy. I think at that point, Mary was not sure being in that sort of country. And I said to her, you give it a couple of months and, you'll feel better. our kind of fairy tale lifestyle started to look a bit shaky. The longer we were there, the worse things got. And eventually we started to argue. Mary was almost certain that I was going to have an affair, or I'd had one, or I was planning to have one.
When I look into your eyes.
Chinese women used to throw themselves at Western men all the time. It was like being a celebrity. It was nice for me, I enjoyed it, but Mary was getting kind of a little bit paranoid then. This is not what she expected. And I was trying to tell her that I wasn't interested in them. Whatever I said, it didn't make any difference. It was inevitable that things were going to go wrong.
Yes, you've been working all week. I come out and find time, and you're sitting and you're sitting for the whole night.
We were rowing about everything and everything that you could possibly row about. We were having a row about it.
There you go, yeah, fuck off. Stop being such a fucking minor bitch.
We got to the end of the road. We went off in different directions to get separate taxis back home. So I got a suitcase, put some clothes in it, and went. We started off on this magnificent journey, this dream, and suddenly life just shattered. The only place that I really could go was one of Keith's friends, Paul. Paul was involved in drugs. He was quite open about the fact that he used to smuggle in cannabis, hashish, stuff like that. He did mention the fact that if I was really that short of money and I wanted to make a lot, there was a business that was worth getting involved in. And I knew the sort of profits that were going to come from that from what I'd already done. It started to look like it was the answer to all the problems I had at that point. Stuck in a foreign country, with no money, no job, no income, no way of getting home, no return ticket. It just seemed like instant fix.
Hanging from a pine tree by my knees, sunshine through the shade. Nobody knows what it's all about. It's too much, man. Let it all hang out. Let it all hang out. Let it all hang out.
Brewed with citrus hops for an effortless taste. New Foster's Twist. Laid-back lager.
You coming too, Jason?
Suppose.
Have you discovered Iceland's amazing value?
Gary, have you seen this? Curry for £1. And garlic Kievs. Kieran, get another trolley.
His first time in Iceland.
They must have got these prices wrong. Quick, fill up the trolley while I create a diversion.
Iceland's clear-cut prices mean great value all year round. And because we keep our prices simple, there'll be no nasty surprises at the checkout.
That's why mums go to Iceland. He's not with us.
How does it feel?
Enjoy the goodness of olive oil every day. Bertolli Spread.
Hi, I'm Nick, and I'm quitting with nicotine lozenges. Could have done with a cigarette several times already. I'm going to have one of these and hopefully help me out.
Today I've actually found a couple of moments quite hard. My colleague as well, they've given up smoking today, and they're going cold turkey, and they're actually going mad at the moment. Very happy to have given up smoking. And there's getting a lot of other people I know near me and that I care for. They're thinking about it and think, well, if Nick can give up, then maybe I can give up. Yeah, I like that.
Be strong and quit with nicotine.
In 2005,
And the award goes to...
they conquered Broadway.
The History Boys.
The History Boys.
The History Boys.
Who else knows about this? Now, they're coming to the big screen. Really? The History Boys.
There's loads of saturated fat in a bag of Walker's crisps, isn't there? What do you reckon? 95% of your guideline daily amount? Well, the truth is, there's only 5%. Just thought you'd like to know.
Are you thinking about quitting smoking? You're twice as likely to succeed with nicotine lozenges compared to willpower alone. Be strong and quit with nicotine.
Step out of the office, Dad. It's called overtime, not all the time. So sit down at Pizza Hut for the new Cheesy Bites Pizza. 28 cheese heads with beautiful tubes of garlic butter. Play with them, rip them, squeeze them. Yes, this party's for the kids. The 9-year-old, the 12-year-old, and the 39-year-old. Come on, Dad. Unleash the happiness.
I wanted enough money to possibly not ever have to work again, to travel, to maybe invest in buying a house back in England. I wanted something that was going to set me up for life, not something that was just going to keep me going for a little while. We're sitting outside, smoking dope as usual.
This is not as bad. It's not so.
And I said to Paul, let's do a deal and make ourselves a decent amount of money.
Are you sure?
Yes. And he immediately understood that we were going to have to get involved in something which was going to be a little bit more dangerous, a little bit more dodgy, but the payoff was completely different. We're talking, you know, $500,000. And he said, we're going to have to do Class A drugs. And I said, yeah, I know. And that was pretty much the crux of that conversation. It was no longer than 2 weeks after I split up with Mary. I was on a plane to San Francisco to do this job. Neither one of us were particularly keen to deal with heroin. It mostly came from Thailand. We all knew about the risks of going to Thailand, trying to leave with large quantities of Class A narcotics, and we weren't really keen to get involved in that. However, cocaine is easily available in the United States. We wanted to take it to Australia. We're talking about Western countries. We're not talking the death penalty, basically. We were looking at what could happen, worst case scenario. I checked into an ordinary run-of-the-mill motel in San Francisco. I was a little bit nervous, I was a little bit scared, but I was also quite excited and I felt in control of my life. Somebody was going to come to my room. They were going to drop off a parcel. It kind of got, like, strangely familiar.
All right. All right, mate. Let everything go. No, it's all right. Cheers, bud.
Inside the bag was a solid block of cocaine. And I'd never seen that amount of drugs before in my life, and it was jaw-dropping kind of surprise. Bloody hell. I did start to use it. This was fantastic, made you feel great. Only for about an hour, and you'd have to have some more. And there was so much of it, it never seemed like it was ever getting any smaller. I was getting through several grams in a day. I have a line for breakfast. I know, I'll go and have a beer by the pool, a couple of lines, a cup of tea and another line. It was like taking on the gangster persona. Scarface, I'm sitting in the jacuzzi like this. I had loads of money, again. I had loads of Class A narcotics. Things were looking up again. As the week went on and I was doing more of this stuff, it seriously started to affect me mentally. I almost totally shut myself in my room. I got totally paranoid about the whole situation. Helicopters were going overhead spying on me. I felt everyone knew what I was doing. And I just did more and more Charlie. I was getting ready to leave and I decided that the safest way of smuggling anything is to swallow it. You have to wrap all the drugs very well in case they burst. I dipped the condom in the maple syrup and swallowed it, or tried to swallow it. Eventually I managed to force one down and then another one and then another one. By the end of the night I'd eaten 67, but that still left me with probably around half the stuff still unwrapped. It was too much stuff. On the morning of the day I was going to go, I came up with a rather rash improvised plan. I taped the rest of this stuff around me. I thought, well, I should have done this in the first place. And I was now actually a little bit worried about having swallowed 67 condoms full of cocaine, because there was enough cocaine in there to kill me a number of times. I definitely started to feel a bit mentally unbalanced, I suppose. I wasn't confident of Paul's ability to get rid of it. He promised me that we could. We had no contact in Australia and things were looking suddenly a bit less well arranged than they had when we started. I just wanted it to be over. It was very easy to leave the United States. I didn't have to go through any official immigration. There were no customs. It was then that I had to deal with a 16-hour flight, which was probably the hardest bit of it, actually. I'd been up all night eating these things. I started feeling quite sick because I had 67 condoms inside which were not being digested. I was uncomfortable because I had this stuff strapped around my middle, and I started to suffer withdrawal symptoms. And I had a line of coke for about 6-7 hours at that point. I was starting to feel a little bit seedy. I was very tempted to get up and go to the toilet and have a line of Charlie, which in fact is what I did. I just remember that. I had a line of Charlie on a plane. Fuck, how stupid was that? So arriving in Sydney, I was really emotionally drained, physically drained. I got to immigration.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
How are you today?
Fine, thanks.
I just wanted this guy to look at my passport and then let me go to customs. The guy in the booth looked at it, looked at me. That was just endless.
And your purpose to visit to Australia today, sir?
I'm just into importing and exporting sort of craft and handmade goods, things like that.
Enjoy your stay in Australia.
Thanks, all right.
Thank you. Bye.
He was basically happy, and he said, have a nice day. I walked on to the customs hall. Well, I'm here now. This is it. I'm almost done. I was expecting somebody to at least stop me and have a look through my bag, but it never happened. They never asked to see anything, they just let me walk out the door. I was counting my money, already thinking in my head, I've done it, I'm rich, I've made a fortune with this job, and it's been a nightmare, but I've made it, I'm here, I'm free. So off I tootled towards the door.
Excuse me, sir.
And there are 3 customs guys standing away from the others, 2 older guys and quite a young guy, and they were obviously training him. One of the older guys said to the younger guy, do you want to search him? He said, oh, well, maybe, yeah, I could do, couldn't I? Yeah. He said, well, it'll be good practice for you. I'm not at all worried at this point, maybe a little worried, but I'm quite confident that my luggage is safe.
All right, so I'll just be looking for your bag quickly.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure, no, thanks. Yeah, just pop it up here for me, thanks.
He got his little inspection gloves on and he opened the bag and he took everything out.
You paid for your life?
Well, I'm just here on business, you know, I'm just here for a few days.
You get paid well, or what do you do?
Well, I'm starting up really. I've been doing this for a few months, and then I'm working with another colleague, and he's the one who's helping me branch out a bit more worldwide, get some sort of international deals on the go.
I was taking insane risks at this point, and the things I said to them weren't awfully a long way from the truth.
Do you know much about Australia, or...?
Not a lot, but I'm able to learn a bit more while I'm here. Yeah, pick up some of the tourist guides and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. What do you know about Australia?
I know you got kangaroos here. I know the weather's much better than it is over in England.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, and I've been told the Australians are all very nice, genuine people.
Yeah, some are, yeah, most of them are actually, yeah, so, yeah.
He didn't find anything. Not a thing, not even a porno magazine. He couldn't find anything that was even remotely dodgy. So he said, okay, well, that looks pretty good. Yeah, I think that's it, actually, you can go.
Okay, so thank you very much.
Okay,
thank you for your cooperation, no worries. Actually, just one moment, so we'll just, I want to do a pat down.
I've got to avoid this somehow.
Oh, I'm actually running quite late now. I've got a meeting to get.
I understand, but just put your bag down for me.
No, I can't actually. I mean, I need to go. To be honest, you're kind of like pushing it a bit now.
Just a couple of minutes. Cool. Yeah, I'll search your bag. Just need to do a quick back down.
He wants to do it. I can't get around this.
It takes really 2 minutes.
Okay.
Perhaps he might not feel it.
Should get you to lift your arms. Thank you. the arms down, sir. Okay, just want to ask you a question, sir. Do you have anything around your waist? Do you have anything around your waist, sir? I felt something there, sir.
I'd bluffed it as far as I could go. There wasn't anything else I could do. I just said to him, "It's cocaine," and his jaw just dropped. He didn't know what to say, and he said, "Are you serious?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm serious." I said, "You're going to find it anyway. You've already found it. What am I going to do? Pretend it's like Beecham's powder or something? It's cocaine. I bought a whole load of cocaine from America. I'm telling you now, that's what it is." Maybe it sounds odd to say that it was a relief to get caught, but I mean, it was. There were no deadlines to meet, people to meet, dodgy deals to do. I was just dead tired and I just wanted to sleep. Honestly, it was finally all over. The implications of what happened didn't really sink in. It didn't hit me that I'd been arrested for trafficking narcotics. I was just in my own little world. I was like out-of-body experience, almost like I was looking down on myself. They started telling me that the quantity which they'd found, which was something like 700 grams at that point, including the little bit in my shoe, which is obviously found. And I said, "Well, hold on a minute, guys, there's more than that. There's another 200 grams, and it's all in condoms, and it's in my stomach. I've swallowed it." And they just panicked like mad.
He told me straight out that, yes, he'd swallowed something like 60 or more condoms of cocaine. And when I asked him how long he'd had them inside him, he said 45 hours. And I was that opinion at that stage that he was in real need of urgent medical help. His complexion was changing. He was changing colour while I was looking at him. I thought literally that he was going to collapse at any time and die in the interview room.
The only thing more shocking than how it ended is how it all began. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the beginning.
The new finest British range. Succulent pies filled with Yorkshire beef and beer. Norfolk pork braised in Herefordshire scrumpy. Wild Scottish venison casserole. But don't worry, there's still everyone's favourite from the West Midlands. Chicken tikka masala. Tesco, every little helps.
I'm just like you. For me, it's all about looking natural. I never thought I'd color my hair. That was before new casting cream gloss from L'Oreal.
A brand new hair color that even with no ammonia blends away greys. The creme transforms hair for rich, glossy tones.
My hair never felt so soft. And my color never looked so shimmering, super glossy. All this and no ammonia. It's the hair color I've been waiting for. And you?
New casting creme gloss from L'Oreal Paris in 16 shimmering shades.
You're worth it.
The bigger the challenge, the more you need Duracell. Down go the ordinary zinc-carbon batteries, victims of exhaustion. Down they go, up he goes. When endurance matters, we can all count on Duracell. Duracell lasts longer, much longer.
In a land long ago lived Mama Kinder, who loved making little treats for children. Her rival was the chocolate baron. He made boring things for grown-ups. Not yummy, happy hippos made with no artificial colours or preservatives. When the baron laughed at all this fun, Mama Kinder's unicorn sent him on his way. Now kids can go free to fun days out. See Kinder Disney Cars packs for details.
Going to the bar, I presume. Sir, a soupçon of the exotic? The epitome of excellence?
It's the last one.
Enjoy the softness of new Fairy Fabric Softener. Nothing is softer for sensitive skin. Why have scented candles when you could have Glade scented oils? Once lit, its unique warming plate melts the candle into a pool of scented oils that fill the whole room with fragrance. And when the oils are gone, the candle goes out. Glade scented oils fill the whole room with fragrance. And now there's new Glade Scented Oils Trio. Create a centerpiece or line them up. New Glade Scented Oils Trio create a new sense of style. Glade, the welcoming scent of home. S.C. Johnson, a family company.
They immediately bundled me into an unmarked police car with 4 big burly federal coppers, all armed, and took me straight to St George's Hospital. The next thing you know, there's a guy handing me a clipboard with an operation consent form on it, and he said, sign here, or you're probably going to die. Then they had to squeeze all the condoms along one at a time until they came out of the incision that they'd made. They were stuck in a narrow part of my intestine which had been cut in a previous operation and made smaller. They weren't going to go through. If I hadn't been caught, I would have died. Basically, getting caught saved my life because there was no way that these condoms were going to come out. I was vaguely aware when I woke up that there were 2 guys with me, and immediately I realised that they were federal police. They were guarding me. I wasn't going anywhere. The ramifications of what I'd done, the fact that I was under 24-hour guard by federal police, the fact that they were armed, even in the hospital, that's when it started to really kind of hit home that I was in deep trouble. And I was actually then allowed to speak to my mother for the first time a month after I was arrested. God knows what she went through when she found out. I know, anyway. I know she was appalled. Not appalled, she wasn't angry with me, but she was just so upset that I could have died doing what I did. She was upset that I didn't just call her and say, can you buy me a ticket back home? She was probably one of the things she was most upset about. She said, why didn't you ask me for help? I felt really guilty for that reason, for putting her through it. Really guilty. That was probably the worst bit. Being in jail was just